hard.
trying to fit in is difficult.
You kind of
It-
asking the wrong people. Because we
you
didn't
guys asked
exactly
for it,
fit in
so
either.
we're going to answer as best as we can. That's a good way of putting it. But basically, I feel like I should kind of start this one. I don't know. I'm just going to anyway. Uh, basically, high school is a giant melting pot of weird people trying. There's a bunch of people. There's people trying to be fake or trying to be popular. There's a few genuine people.
Basically, let's put it like this. Everyone feels the same way you do, and they're all trying to fit in. They just don't know who they're trying to fit in with.
There's a whole bunch of cliques when you start high school. There's jocks, nerds,
Boo.
preppy kids.
Boo to
I'm going for
jocks, not nerds.
yeah. I'm going for the classic public high school experience. There's jocks, nerds, preps, emos, geeks, uh, gamer geeks, gamer nerds,
Cheerleaders.
cheerleaders. Let's see, popular girls,
Boo.
Twilight
Oh
fangirls.
god. I didn't know that got its own class.
Yeah, it got its own class.
Ugh.
Past 3 or 4 years. Uh,
Jeez.
there's all sorts of different cliques that you'll find out through high school. There's so many, many things. And basically, what I would have to say is the best way to fit in for high school is the time where you try to learn about yourself. You try to better understand yourself, what you like, what you don't like. Don't worry about trying to be popular. Just figure out where you fit in based on what you like and what you don't. People will accept you a lot better that way if you're actually genuine about yourself. And on that, just find people that you relate with. You could be in multiple cliques just based on that because you have something in common with one clique, you have something else in common with another. You could have multiple friends just because you fit in with a lot of multiple things. But from my personal experience, the high school me and Phoenix went to was kind of small. Like
Like uber
super, super
small.
small. It
To
was like
give
only,
you to give you an example, my graduating class was 18 students.
and mine was 23. Yeah, we had super small high schools, so there really wasn't that much as far as cliques were concerned, but people still tried to be popular, even at our school.
Yep,
What we
yep.
figured out pretty quick was we had our own little small group of maybe 8, 9 people out of the entire school of maybe 130 that had a lot of the same mindset as we did, or a lot of the same interests that we did, and we just kind of hung out together and kind of clicked well.
We
Uh,
even got ourselves a nickname.
yep, we were called the Fountain People because the place we usually went to was the fountain, right
Always.
outside of our school.
Before
Yep,
school, after school, lunch,
just
anytime.
it was just our hangout place. But for high school, it's definitely something that you guys just have to figure out where you fit in. And you can fit in multiple places, or you can find out that you maybe fit in one. Some of you may be more reclusive, you kind of just stick to yourselves, more introverted. Some of you may be very outgoing, very extroverted, and go into all sorts of different things. Just be yourself. Do what you like doing, be who you like being around, and if people don't like you for it, then people don't like you for it. Don't try and be popular.
I'd like to add something here. If someone tries to make you feel bad because you fit in with more than one group and you hang out with more than one group, and someone in one of those groups doesn't like someone from the other one, and they tell you that you don't fit in and you shouldn't hang out with them, don't listen. You can fit in with as much as you want. You're allowed to have conflicting interests. You're a person. You're just a human being. You're allowed to. And you shouldn't let anyone make you feel bad for that. It's a good thing to have a whole bunch of interests that make you happy and make your day. So if anyone tries to make you feel bad about that, just tell them
Ignore.
that you're more open-minded and maybe they should give it a try too.
And now Phoenix can talk about her personal experiences with high school.
Oh, goody. Um, I actually came from a very large school before I transferred to our lovely, tiny little high school. I grew up, God, we had, I think in my freshman class, we had, I think it was like 300 students,
Double
something,
that of our tiny little school.
something like that in our freshman class alone. So it was huge, and it just grew all the time. It was very popular, still is actually, and it had a very good education, but I did not fit in very well at all. Um, Around my freshman year, that's when my depression got at its worst, and my anxiety got really bad, and my OCD got really bad. So I became even more of a recluse, and I literally did not have one single friend that I truly liked. I had one friend that I grew up with, but in all honesty, she was not a very good friend to me. She treated me very badly. Later on in our lives, she actually apologized for it. She did become a better person, but needless to say, that didn't help in freshman year. So it was kind of exhausting going through my freshman year until my mother decided to become a teacher for our tiny little school. And she did a lot of research and thought that maybe I would fit in better there. And oh my gosh, I did. I loved it. I loved it. Just, I loved the education. I loved the teachers.
Oh, the teachers.
I never really liked people to begin with, so I can't really say much about that. I've never been a people person, but um, I at least liked it more than my old school. And I found more. Oh my God, I found out more about myself as I went along, and I got into the small group that we ended up with. Um, our little fountain people. Long may we live.
Yes.
Um, and at the time, I can tell you that there were a lot of problems that we all had, and that we all had with each other and with other people and with our schooling and with our homework. We had tons of problems. But looking back at it now, I don't think I would have traded it for anything. I loved the group I got into for the most part. I loved all of our experiences. My senior year experience was pretty tough, but I've gotten apologies for that too. So
Hey,
it
you turned out
wasn't
amazing.
it wasn't always fun, but having those people with me made it kind of worth it because it was almost like I had something to look forward to, and I didn't want to be anybody else. I liked who I was. It wasn't easy because we got picked on a lot. We got bullied all the time, but it was worth it. I didn't want to be anybody else but who I was. I was very happy to be a fountain person. So I guess my advice, besides what we've already discussed, just find where you fit in like that, where maybe at the time you may not know it, but if your gut tells you that something about someone is special, listen to it. Because there's this lovely thing called intuition, and there's a reason we have it. It does work, I promise. So if your gut tells you that someone is special and you need to be around them, then listen, and you'll probably end up loving those memories, just like I do.
I do have to put a little side topic on this. Before I went to our tiny, beautiful little high school, I went to bigger public schools like Phoenix did. For elementary, I went to a school that was 600, 700 kids. For middle school, I went to a school that was like 2,000, 2,500 kids. And I apologize for that.
Ha 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 ha.
I hope that didn't wake up whoever's nearby. But I did realize something
You got
about
a creeper sleeping under your bed?
no.
I know.
I did realize something about myself that I didn't really think about during high school. I would never have traded anything in high school for the world. The group I had was amazing. I connected with all of them for the most part very well. Everything was just more. I don't think more better sounds like a good phrasing, but
More meaningful.
more meaningful, and I definitely had a better outlook on going to school every day because of them.
Now, do not be mistaken. Do not think that everything was perfect, because trust me, our group had
Oh,
our major issues where I swear if someone hadn't come between us, we probably would have hit each other to the point
yeah.
where we were bleeding on the ground. I mean, there were times where we did not get along. But would you like to continue?
Yeah. Uh, and my whole side topic was not exactly meaning to gear towards this. It was more meaning to gear towards when I was in middle school or elementary school. I was more of a extroverted person. I would randomly talk to basically anyone I would see in the cafeteria. Just find random things of interest, find topics that I liked, and at least one person out of every table I went to would have some sort of interest in the same topic. So I was a more extroverted person. I could get along with a lot of anyone just because I liked a lot of random topics. Uh, so as soon as I went to our lovely tiny little high school, I realized more about myself and more about the fact that I didn't need to have a bunch of random acquaintances that I would call friends. I needed more of a close knit group that I could actually trust with anything I had going on in my life at the time and actually get better feedback from them than I would have had I stayed at a bigger middle school or bigger elementary, or had I gone to a bigger high school where I wouldn't have had as close of friends. And just having a nice close group of people that you can actually trust with that any sort of information that you have about yourself or things that you go through on a day-to-day basis just really helps trying to cope with everything that goes on in high school.
Uh-oh.
What?
Yay, okay. Thought I broke it for a second. Sorry. I accidentally hit a button and I wasn't sure what I did, but I fixed it. But basically, I think a main thing is find the thing that you're happy with and don't be afraid to just explore and figure out who you are. It's kind of the whole point of growing up. And
I know growing up sounds scary, right? But it's worth it. I swear.
and I know some of you are desperate to grow up. Trust me, just
Take it slow.
slow down and take it day by day. You will miss it. My mother always told me while I was a kid that when I got older, it would just go by faster and faster, and I always thought she was lying. And like the moment I turned 18, just boom, everything went by super fast, and 2 years have gone by, and I just wish that I had that time back, and I wish I could go back and just live it all again. So don't be in too much of a hurry to grow up, because you'll miss it a lot, trust me. But just try and find what you like, find out about yourself, and don't be afraid to be yourself. You should be very confident in who you are, no matter what kind of person you are. And I know it's hard to take that advice. Trust me, we both know we had trouble with our identities in high school too. But yeah, I know. We had a lot of trouble with our personal identities in high school. But
And some of the people that were in our nice little tight little group are still having issues with their identities to this day.
uh,
But
but just be confident in who you are. There's nothing wrong with who you are. At this point, I can honestly say there's nothing wrong with me. I may have depression and anxiety and OCD, but that's who I am. And it's made me who I am. It's contributed to what I've become. And I wouldn't change that. I like the person that I am. And I wish that I had that confidence in high school. I wish that I could have had that. Because it's so comforting to be happy in my own skin. So if you find anything that makes you confident in yourself, just take it and run with it. Don't be ashamed of who you are, no matter how crazy or weird other people tell you you are. It doesn't matter. Just do whatever makes you happy. It's the whole point of life. Just be happy. That may sound kind of cliche, but
It's true. It's completely true. It's one of the most valuable lessons that I think either of us learned in high school. Just be happy with yourself.
and treasure all those special little moments. So a lot of times you'll miss those and you'll want them back. So I'm not saying pull out your smartphone and video record everything, because then you're just the annoying person running around with a camera. But
Woohoo!
you'll remember those memories for a long time. You won't need a video camera to remember them. So just treasure all those little things that seem happy and joyful.
And I guess that wraps up this video topic. Leave a like and favorite if you enjoyed. Subscribe to see more awesome videos today. Peace out, peeps. You guys have been amazing. Check out Phoenix's channel in the description below. And we will see you guys later. Thank you for watching. You guys are awesome. Deuces.
Bye.